Hi, I'm Master Sergeant Paul R. Lirette. I'm stationed at the Bolling Air Force Base assigned to the Pentagon Flight Medicine Clinic up on the fourth floor, Corridor 8 and 7. Today is October 28th, 2002. Uh, on 9/11, the day started like any other normal day. It was a beautiful day. Uh, how it all started was that we were told that a plane had run into one of the Trade Center buildings. And after watching that on TV, I could halfway understood that, it could happen because when I saw the second plane come around, my first impression was that the airport was so close, like we have here. The planes fly real close to the buildings. But when the second plane did not come all the way through, then I realized that something wasn't an accident. So therefore, working at the Pentagon, I kind of figured something was going to be coming down. So I went back to my office, and I'd say maybe less than a minute, I heard a boom sound, which sounded like an echo in the hallway. And then I'd say then seconds after that, someone had hollered, get out the building. And at that point, I realized that at first I thought it was a bomb that had gone off. So our first thing that we did in the clinic was evacuate the clinic, the patients that were in there. Uh, we proceeded to go ahead and get our medical packs. After we did that, we went down to 4 flights of stairs down to what we call the De Lorenzo Clinic, which is the main clinic in the Pentagon. Upon arriving there, my commander, Colonel Baxter, got on the radio that we had a patient down on the at the fifth corridor. So we proceeded to go back into the Pentagon from the De Lorenzo Clinic because the clinic is located at the north entrance. So we went back into the Pentagon to the fifth corridor, and at that point, we found the patient there. I took off my medical pack because we had about 5 people with us as a team. Because at that point, someone was hollering that they had 11 patients trapped up further up to corridor 5. So I dropped my medical pack off, and I proceeded with that person up into corridor 5, all the way up to the D ring. I went up to D ring to direct people out of that area, backed up because of the smoke coming in, backed up to the C ring, went down the C ring about halfway toward the fourth corridor. And at that point, we're still directing people out. Smoke was getting real bad at that point. We came back out, evacuated everybody in that corridor to get out the building. Uh, and before leaving the Pentagon, leaving that area, another person came running up the B ring, hollering that they needed an axe because someone was trapped outside. At that point, I proceeded to follow that person outside, and upon arriving outside, that was the behind the C ring, between the C ring and the D ring, right directly behind the impact area. We went ahead and someone down after getting outside, someone further down toward the fourth corridor hollered that someone was trapped in the building. So myself and 4 other people ran into the building, which was in a very small area. It was dark. It was on fire. The smoke was real heavy. We were moving debris out the area to release the person. I was like the third person in line, trying to get the debris off the patient. At that point, from the smoke that I had inhaled prior to going outside, it was very difficult for me to breathe in the building. We were using wet T-shirts and to put over our face so we could breathe. At that point, I proceeded to step outside. I'd say within less than a minute, we got the victim out. I grabbed the victim and threw him on the stretcher, which we had waiting outside, and myself and 3 other people carried the victim out the fourth corridor out into the courtyard. And that was our medical collection point at the time. And also after I got outside, I saw Colonel Baxter, our team, went back and got together with them. And at that point, I came back to where toward the fourth corridor where they had another victim staggering out. So I went in there and helped him come outside. And at that point, we got the word that there was another plane coming. So we had to gather our medical equipment plus the patients to get out the courtyard. So we evacuated everybody out with a lot of the medical people that was in the courtyard. And at that point, we had to find ways to transport the patients that we had to the local hospitals. We didn't have that many ambulances there at that point, so we got people that were in their station wagons and vans and so forth to help us load up these patients and transport them to the hospital. Uh, from that point on, after evacuate as many patients as we could, Colonel Baxter, myself, and the rest of the team members got into a truck, went around to the impact area, and we stood by waiting on orders to see what we could do at that point. And that was the course of the day. It sounds pretty short, but it's you know the whole scenario to me basically it was like a movie because it was just there. At the point when we were running back into the Pentagon right at the beginning, there were patients coming down with the skins burnt off. They were injured. They were being directed to the clinic. The It's just like like it wasn't real. It really wasn't. It The after effect for me is more. Which I appreciate the Secretary of Defense and the President saying, get back to work, do what you got to do, to get things going. And the way I looked at it that way was that we got knocked off our horse at that point, being, freedom in the United States and all that. And what helped me was to get back on that horse and do what we get paid to do, and that's make sure that the country is safe. Um, it was. It was amazing the stuff that you can do when the drilling is going. I was only at the Pentagon 10 days prior to 9/11, so running around and going to these areas was really kind of new to me. So I really didn't know where I was at, just other than where I was told to go to. The victim that like I said, did survive. So I think if there's any one thing that really impacted me about 9/11 was when they would show on the TV the number of 189 of the victims that had died, knowing that it could have been just as well as 190. So it was a good feeling to see that. The things I guess what affects me, if anything, now is still working at the Pentagon, is seeing the planes that fly over, kind of bank to the left or right, kind of makes you think twice. Uh, I think if I have anything for the further upcoming generations, I would say don't take things for granted. I spent close to 30 years of my life, active duty and reserve time, trying to play a small part in trying to keep our country free, and that just went right out the window. So you just don't take things for granted. Freedom has a very expensive price, but you have a lot of good men and women in the armed forces that's going to make sure that we maintain that freedom. Thank you.